And with that comes responsibility. As you know, the algorithms are being garbled up. The social media is garbling up the classroom. And it is up to us, it's up to you to share this with your friends, family, strangers. Just today, I heard from someone that won the book for Dr. Furman, and she said, so thank God somebody shared it on this one website. So do that, go to your groups, do whatever it can, because today we're going to talk about how to work out smarter, not harder, smarter, not harder, and build lots of muscle. And I'll be giving you a little update on my muscles, although I'll be honest, I haven't been pushing it. And I know that if I do push it, it's going to even be better. So, and pushing it takes on a totally different look. So start liking, tagging, sharing, texting, let everybody know that the classroom is in session and Dr. Mike DeBord is here. So let me get started with the record and then we'll get started with the class. So today we have Dr. Mike DeBord, and we are going to be talking about building muscles at any age, even my age. And we're going to learn so much together. So fasten your seatbelt because we're going to learn and grow together. It's time to dance, Dr. DeBord. Here we go. And
The Lillian McDermott Show.
We love, we fear. Bridges we burn, we make mistakes, then we live and learn. When life gets tough, and it seems like your best ain't good enough. If you're in need of hope, you know where I'll be right here, and when you need a friend, you can count on me. I'll be right here, waiting for you.
This is the place you can always turn to when you need a friend. The Lillian McDermott Show. To reach out to Lillian, visit her on the web at whenyouneedafriend.com. Now let's all learn together. Here's Lillian McDermott.
hello, my listening and viewing friend. It's so nice we can meet each other on the air on this beautiful, best day ever. And for those of you who are tuning into the classroom for the first time, please know I've been waiting for you. This is a safe place where you can go to when you need a friend. It is my commitment to provide alternative ways to heal, and it is my mission to make awareness, responsibility, and truth a part of our everyday life. And I hope you, my listening, as well as my viewing friend, will feel empowered to embrace a new truth and live the life of your dreams. Now, who would have known that there is a way to build muscle by hacking your brain, by hacking your body? I normally am not opposed to hacking, depending on what kind of hacking it is. I will be completely, totally against it. But when it comes to tapping into and getting to know your body and saying, this is where I need to be, but this is where I'm at. Why don't I just bring this down here? And my muscles will go, oh, you are such an Olympian. Has that ever happened to you? It's been happening to me since I've told you about my latest obsession, the B3 blood flow restriction bands. I've got one on. I'll show you how to put one on in a little bit. But the CEO and the person, if you want to learn about blood flow restriction band, this is the guy to learn from. Dr. Mike DeBord, he is the CEO of B3 Sciences. And we are so excited because it's been a month since I've been working out with the bands, and I will confess, because we've been on vacation and my life has been a little different than being like I'm working out every other day or every day. And I'm still getting results. I'm not trying to promote not doing it correctly and doing it as much as you can, but I'm still getting benefits. Whereas by now, had I not had these bands, I would be a ball of flab, really would be. But I'm so grateful that Dr. Mike is here to teach us more about why this makes sense to work out smarter, not harder. And since it is our sole purpose in life to give and receive love and knowledge, I am grateful that Dr. Mike DeBord is here to do just that. Thank you, Dr. Mike, for being in the classroom.
Hey, Lily, it's great to be here and look forward to sharing this with everybody. And you're right, what a hack this is. It's a natural hack, but boy, is it changing the game for people when it comes to, putting some muscle on their body, losing weight, getting in better shape, feeling better.
Yes, it is. I wish I could hang them around my belt and go to places with it and go, oh, okay, let me put this on because now I'm going to walk, now I'm going to swim, or now I'm going to play tennis. And then you have them and you can do what you normally do, but you're bringing it up a notch. Please explain about your background and how you got started with the blood flow restriction bands and why they are the bomb.
Well, thanks, Lillian. Again, it's awesome to be here with all your listeners and share this new technology. I was a sports chiropractor, so I was always fascinated by fitness, nutrition. I practiced about 20 years, and I myself, had a lot of trauma to my body, so I had a lot of injuries. So, like all of us, I'm going through life in my 30s, 40s, and 50s, trying to maintain muscle mass, trying to maintain, how I want to look, trying to keep the six pack, things that we all hang on to our whole life, and having the same challenges everybody else has. Time, it's hard. Many of us can't tolerate the loads and pain that comes from exercising that hard, and the soreness the next day, and the motivation to keep doing this hour and a half every day. And at one point I met a really smart, one of the smartest human performance doctors in the world, Dr. Jim Stray Gunderson, and formed a friendship with him. And about a year or two later, he was in Japan, and he's one of our top Olympic training doctors. Think, top runners in the world, Bodie Millers, Lindsey Vonns, Michaela Schifrin. He works out of Park City, Utah. He's, world renowned for human performance. And he discovered a secret the Japanese were doing, this blood flow restriction. And he called me, he said, Mike, you ever heard of blood flow restriction? I said, no. He said, wow, we figured out what the Japanese were doing. And not only are their athletes doing it and kicking our butts in these sports, but after meeting this guy, I found out, he's got kids doing it, animals doing it, seniors doing it, people going through rehab. And it's this greatest breakthrough or hack in exercise. And he was instrumental in helping this Japanese doctor bring it to the United States. We perfected in the Olympic athletes, and, Dr. Jim did that part, in his brilliance. And then it started being used on other people, everyday people, just normal people. And then, here we are, about 5-6 years later, and we started a company. I started B3 Sciences to take this out to everybody using it. Now, we're approaching 11,000 people in a short time, and celebrities, and, now everybody on your show gets to hear about it. And it's going to change. It's not a fad. I tell people, look, this isn't Tybo. Love Billy Blanks. This isn't boxing around. This isn't P90X. This isn't another one of those great, nothing against them, great exercise trends. Those are trends of doing the same thing. This is different. This is a scientific breakthrough in exercise. It's going to forever change how we exercise, forever.
It has changed the way I exercise. And last time, I don't go around flashing people my muscles. I don't. Growing up, I was, moderate muscle. I was a dancer, so of course, muscular legs. But as I got older, it seemed like, it was harder and harder to keep up. Once I get to my 50s, it's like, I had mentioned before in the classroom before that you were in that, they say muscle has a memory, but I felt my muscles had dementia. There was no getting back to them. And so what I wanted is to be able to continue. And after a while, you go to the gym and you're working out and you're just maintaining no muscle. It's like it just wasn't getting to that. And let's talk about, and I don't know if we even brought this up that last time, is there is a belief that the way you build muscle is to break down the muscle. But this is not what I find through build. I mean, this is the most, and this is my bad arm. I had mentioned that this is like this arm is like really right now, really strong. But this one has always been, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's so much definition. And if I do this right here, you can see my muscles in the back, my triceps, where that wasn't even, I am not an upper body workout person. It's been lower body, and it's been amazing. So let's talk about the myths about building muscle and having to be at the gym for an hour to an hour and a half. That, who has that time?
Well, I think the word myth means it's not true. And there are some untruths. Like, we're going to talk about why 45 minutes of cardio is a myth. We're going to talk about that. But building muscle is not a myth. Until now, what you are doing to build muscle is you're fatiguing the muscle deep enough. It's that simple. And we think micro tearing and heavy weights, yes, that's one way to do it. And it's not really the only way we've known to build muscle. But what are you really doing? To make it as simple as possible, when your muscle fatigues deep, you feel a burn in it. And that's, a lot of people think that's lactic acid. So let's just keep it there. It is a form of lactate or lactic acid. But very simply, when you feel the burn and you feel the lactic acid, that sends a signal to your brain to release growth hormone, and your muscles get stronger and leaner, and you lose weight and you build muscle. Here's the problem. The majority of people, I'd say 99% of the people exercising, are not exercising at a high enough intensity to feel the burn. You go for a walk, there's no burn.
Yeah.
You get on the exercise a lot. You know, I go to the gym and I see these people on the elliptical machine for 30 minutes and nothing ever changes. And by the way, you never go into the gym and see the people with the six pack and the muscles on the elliptical machines, do you? None of those people are on the cardio machines, because it doesn't happen with 35, 45 minutes of cardio.
Yeah.
And taking classes, jumping around, you just don't feel. When do you feel the burn? Well, that's the 45-minute CrossFit, banging ropes, jumping, sore the next day, burning, exhausted when you're done. So very simply, to grow muscle, you have to feel the burn. You got to fatigue the muscle deep enough. And it typically takes explosion type heavy weights, which very few people are willing to do. But now, we don't have to do that anymore.
No, it's amazing. I'm in disbelief, because I used to work out more than I have been working out. Again, you kind of get, it's like, okay, I'm not seeing any results. And I have always worked out. And I don't work out like some of the people that I see at the gym. I come after them and I leave before them. And I was okay with what was happening. But in the last year or two, it's been probably 3, it's been harder. And I believe it's because of the injury I received when I was in a car accident for herniated disc. You kind of baby your body, and then your body, once it starts deteriorating, it's harder to build back at the same pace I was in.
Yes.
I would go into the gym, working at the same pace, maintaining what I have, knowing a slight decline, but small enough to not really care, But then when you stop working out because you have an injury or anything like that, and you're going back to the gym and you're trying to not only not lose the muscle, whatever muscle you have left, but you also want to build it. I didn't have that kind of time. So when you told me about these bands and I said, okay, I'm going to try them. And I was very skeptical, but I saw what happened to Patrick Porter. Patrick Porter came on and said, hey, look at how I've been building muscle. And I'm like, okay, we're going to talk about this after the class. So I've got one of the bands in my arm, but I want to show you how easy it is to put this on. And so while I'm doing this, Dr. Mike, can you explain a little bit about why I'm putting this around my arms? And I normally put this around my legs because I'm a 2-for-1. I am like, I am like one and done. I am getting out of the gym. I have other things I need to do. So let's explain about this a little bit more. So what is this? And if you can explain what I'm doing.
Okay, so let's form our baseline, everybody. If you can do exercise and feel the burn, things are going to happen. If you're not feeling the burn, you just don't change. You don't lose weight. You don't build muscle. You don't get stronger. You don't get healthier. Bones don't get stronger. Cardiovascular system doesn't get younger. Blood pressure doesn't come down. Hypothyroidism doesn't improve. So now everybody understands we've got to feel that burn. That's what triggers the body to the adaptive response. So you see Lillian sliding these bands up her arms. This Japanese doctor stumbled on this about 60 years ago, and it took him about 45 years to figure out what was going on.
Wow.
Is that a working muscle? So I'm working my bicep, okay? It's using oxygen, okay? And because the oxygen is flowing in, and let's just use the scale here, at a rate of 10, that's normal, oxygen is flowing. Most people are exercising below that. They're doing light exercise in this range, and they never fatigue the muscle of oxygen. They never feel the burn. If you do heavy weights or bang ropes or just 45 minutes CrossFit, what you're doing is you're upping the intensity and using more oxygen than is available. Look at this teeter-totter. I've tipped the scale. Now my muscle runs out of oxygen if I do high intensity because there's more being used. And I feel the burn. That's it. And I get growth hormone and I change. Everything down here, aerobics, light exercise, classes, going for a walk, playing, it's all down here. It's all below the oxygen that's available, and we never feel the burn. We never get growth hormone. So here's what the bands do. Instead of us working harder, a smart Japanese doctor and then Dr. Jim figured out, hey, why don't we just lower the oxygen available? So when you put the bands on, we're going to talk about the safety and everything here because it's safe. It simply slows oxygen down. So here we are. We're now at an oxygen available of 5 because the bands are on, and we're going for a walk, using it at a 6, and our legs are burning. Let me repeat that. You're going for a walk, and your legs feel like you're running wind sprints uphill with ankle weights on. Or like you said, Lillian, you're doing some light 2-pound dumbbells.
Yes,
your
this is 2 pounds.
Your muscles are all pumped up like you're curling 20s or 30s or 50s. So what's happened here is we've figured out how to biohack safely human performance by lowering available oxygen so that light exercise, light weights, 5 minutes on the elliptical machine, not 45 minutes, 5 minutes on the elliptical machine, walking, swimming, fatigues oxygen, and you feel the burn, but more importantly, you fatigue the muscle deep enough to get a growth hormone release, and you get other substances, but that changes the game. When you get growth hormone from exercise, it's a whole different world. You're in the Olympic athlete type world. That's why they've got the 6-packs and the good looking arms and the tight lower body, and they're healthy and they don't get sick because they're getting growth hormone, and the rest of us are all exercising below that oxygen level. We're just hanging out down here. So if you're hanging out down here, don't even call it exercise because nothing's going to happen. That's movement.
Yeah.
It's good for the head. Psychologically, it's good to go out for a walk, but you're not going to move the scale. You're not going to tighten up the arms. Doing these exercises down here where everybody hangs out, now you're up here with the bands on, and it's just completely changing how we exercise.
It is. So I put it on over my workout clothes. I don't normally wear the bands on my skin, but you can, right, Dr. Mike? You can swim with these.
I've got mine over my shirt. So I just roll my shirt up.
Yeah.
And you can go right on the skin, or you can go right over the pants. You can go over a sweatshirt. You can go over your running tights, anything.
Yeah. Because I am sitting, I don't have these, but these are my leg bands. So I put the leg bands, and Dr. Mike is going to give a presentation after the classroom for the teacher's pet. So we'll talk about how do you apply those and how do you put them on. And then each band, and let's talk about real quick about the tourniquet effect, because I put my bands on, it recommends 150 on mine because I've got little puny, I used to have puny arms. And so I have the real small bands. And I put my bands, it recommends 150, but I put mine at 200 to 250 on each one, because for some reason I have a high threshold. So I need a little bit more. So I'm just going to put it in there as well. So go ahead. Now,
so most people are thinking, oh, 250, that cuts off blood flow. With a blood pressure cuff, yes, it does. And a blood pressure cuff is a tourniquet, meaning it's a complete squeeze, meaning you feel it all the way around. That's a tourniquet. This, and these are patented, we're the only ones that do this. See those little pockets there? So as this gets getting smaller, it's not a complete squeeze. It's like a bunch of fingers pushing around in independent points. Thus, it does not cut off blood flow. We have done studies on our bands at the University of Texas. We're the only blood flow restriction company out there that has studies like this, that it does not increase arterial pressure. Never mind that it doesn't cut off blood flow. We're not stopping arterial flow. We're not increasing arterial pressure. Number two, although we're disrupting the oxygen usage here, the heart isn't experiencing any additional oxygen demand. It just thinks you're exercising. So there's no increased oxygen demand on the heart. And that's because of these special, again, watch how I blow it up. See the little pockets there? It's comfortable. It's safe. It doesn't cut off blood flow. Lillian can move her arms. She can go for a swim. She can wear them for, you're only supposed to wear them 20 minutes because you're going to fatigue really fast. But they're completely safe. And thus, all we're doing is slowing down the return of blood, the superficial blood, not the deep arterial blood. We're just slowing that down. It's like turning down the garden hose a quarter of a turn. And now we have less oxygen to work with. Now, if you just put them on and don't move, Lillian's not feeling any burn or discomfort from putting them on and not moving. She's got to start moving. But once she starts moving, that muscle's going to run out of oxygen. Yeah. And you can see she's just doing some triceps there. If she does those for about 30 seconds, her muscles are going to be burning and on fire like she's doing heavy weights.
Well, right before, before we came on, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do like a real quick set for my arms because I can. It's so easy and you start feeling the burn right away. Now, I am not going to be as, probably doing as many reps as Dr. Mike might or somebody else might, but that's enough for me. And what I love about these bands is, I love to dance. So dancing with the bands takes on a totally different meaning. I love to doing, like Dr. Mike said, you do you, whatever you love to do, it will enhance whatever you're doing. Right, Dr. Mike? Yeah.
I mean, you just pick the movement you want to do and we'll turn it into, adaptative exercise that releases growth hormones. So although we have programs, if you like to dance, great. If you like to walk the dog, great. If you like to go hit golf balls, put them on and go hit golf balls. If you like to jump around the pickleball court, we got tons of pickleball people. Now go play some pickleball, walk up and down the steps, mow the yard, clean the house. If you love the gym or your Peloton, simply apply it to whatever type of exercise or movement you love. We got all kinds of people that are on the rebounders or they're on the vibration plates. Everybody's starting to get these vibration plates. Boy, you get on one of those for 5 minutes and your legs are on fire like you've been on it for 2 hours.
Yeah. And by the way, for those of you who want to learn more about it, the link is below. I'm going to post it on YouTube. If you're watching live on YouTube or Facebook, the link is there. You can click onto whenyouneedafriend.com and go to my Shop Now bag, and that's where you'll find my bands. And for $447, you not only get the bands, but you also get these tubes that you can work out of the house. It's got all the different attachments that you need to create your own gym and start, if you don't want to go to the gym, if you feel like, I just don't like the time that it takes to drive, or maybe your gym is too costly for you. I love working out at the house now. I've got all these bands here. I'm going to just put them here on the ground. But anyway, I love how this has changed. I remember when I first got my Fitbit, and I thought, what am I going to do with a Fitbit? But then I started wearing it. And then all of a sudden you realize how many steps you take throughout the day. But when your Fitbit doesn't work out, doesn't count your step, you're going, I'm not going to take a step anymore. At least that's what I say. I'm going to deflate these right now. And so you start getting used to a new way. Oh, now I'm aware of my steps. Now I'm aware of how I'm working out. I haven't been feeling the burn in years and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
And it started from the accident that I had. I'm babying my body. But then after a while, you realize, oh, I've completely lost control here. So this has been a kick in the pants that I needed without the fear of, spending way too much money and not getting results. Now, tell us about any fears that people might have of not getting results or getting their money back if they don't like this product.
Well, first of all, when you purchase the bands, you're going to get a coach from our company, and we're going to email you easy to follow videos. We have over 20 programs: walking, hiking, speed training, pickleball, running, biking, swimming, lose weight, build muscle, powerlifting. You're going to get access to all of those.
Yep.
And there's videos on all this. And you're going to have a coach to answer your questions. Next, you get to take them for a 30-day test drive. For any reason you don't love them, 30 days from the day you get them, not from the day you order, from the day you get them, take them for a spin. You're going to love them. And we say, and Lillian, you know this, once you go bands, you don't go back.
Once you go bands, you become a fan. How about that?
Yeah, once
you go bands, it is. Look, this is my muscle now. I have never had a muscle like this. And it's just been, and that's just my arms. I'm not showing you my legs right now, but trust me, they have built, I feel like I'm back to growing the muscle that I used to have in my 40s and, my mid 40s, where my muscle, I used to work out, but I had to work out a lot of time compared to what I'm working out now. And I'm still getting wonderful results. For those of you who feel like, your muscles aren't building, this has been the greatest. This is my obsession right now. I love brain tap, and I love my ground therapy. And I love all of those things because these are natural ways that you can help your body improve. And it's zero risk. You also have if that's too much money, right? You also have a payment plan, right?
Yep.
What is that like?
And real quick, before we talk about the payment program, we didn't tell people something. How long do you work out when you put them on, Lillian? Tell everybody. They might
probably less than 20 minutes.
That's it. So think about that. Now, a lot of our workouts are 5 and 8 minutes. When I get on the elliptical machine at the gym, I pump mine up a little bit higher because I want to bring oxygen down as low as I can, but still be comfortable, meaning it's not squeezing too tight that it hurts.
Yeah.
I now have a routine. I go to the gym 3.5 minutes. I'm on the elliptical, and I have to take them off. My legs are burning so much. And then I go do my upper body. So I was there last night. It took me 12 minutes. I went and did some core. I'm walking out the gym at 20 minutes, and the same people are still on the elliptical doing the 45-minute thing, and nothing's going to happen.
I love it.
Nothing's going to happen. So just everybody, so you can do these for 3 minutes, 5, 10, 15, 18. The most you're going to wear them is 20, not because you might want to wear them longer. Your muscles are going to fatigue.
Yeah.
And you're just not going to be able to go anymore. So, and for purchasing them, you get them for $429. You get the exercise tubing, you get the coach, you get the bands. It's about an $800 package. You can even do that with our PayPal partnership program, 0 down, 0 interest, for about $75 a month. Over 6 months, you're going to get the greatest, exercise device ever. And they got a 12-month warranty too.
Wow. That's awesome. Every time you come on, I learn something new, or every time I talk to you, I learn something new. So let's talk about people that, because, the mindset is so important. And as you know, I talk about spirit, mind, and body. And there's a lot of people that come to me. And of course, I'm doing the I Am the Solution workshop, so we can work out the mindset, April 16th through 18th workshop. And people say, I do everything. I work out, I eat well, I did this, I did that, and I can't lose weight. How is it that these bands help with the releasing of weight while you're building muscle?
This is my why 45 minutes of cardio doesn't work talk.
Okay, let's hear it.
You've got a thing called the glycogen reserve tank. Let's make it real simple. Your muscle has glucose in it, okay? And when you run out of oxygen, oxygen is the main fuel tank. But think what happens on like your boat or your motorcycle or your lawnmower. There's a reserve tank. You run out of gas, you flip it over to the reserve tank. That's the muscle glucose or glycogen. It's a small tank. Oxygen goes forever. This glycogen reservoir is what you start using when you're out of oxygen. So let's go back. I'm doing some elliptical machine or walking. I'm doing some biceps. I start to feel the burn. That's your indication. You're out of oxygen. You're feeling the burn. You're now using muscle glycogen or muscle glucose. It's called the glycogen reserve. And it doesn't last long. So ask yourself, how long can you sprint? Well, you sprint, you feel the burn, you don't go far. How long can you do push-ups? You can get on the elliptical machine for 5 hours, but you've only got about 20 or 30 push-ups because that's using that small glycogen reserve tank. Now, why is this so important? Because when you use muscle glucose or glycogen and you feel the burn, your body kicks out 5 very powerful substances. Nitric oxide. What's that? You know how when you get running, you feel the runner's high and you feel like you could just take on the world? That's nitric oxide. When things stop hurting, you're working out, you're like, man, nothing's nitric oxide. You're in the gym, you got the pump going, and you feel like, you're the Rock. You could just, you could jump in the World Wrestling Federation, start bouncing off the rope. That's nitric oxide. Most people never tap into that. That has all kinds of health benefits. Then you get vascular endothelial growth factor. What does that do? That stimulates, get ready for this, because you probably never heard this, your cardiovascular system to get younger. It reverses cardiovascular disease. This isn't a Dr. Mike thing or Dr. Jim. This is a Harvard science research. Most people never tap into vascular endothelial growth factor, which is a wonderful protein peptide right in your arteries, sitting there your whole life. You're just not doing the exercise hard enough to get it. Next, you get brain-derived nootropic factor. That's fertilizer for your brain. That's the rest of your day, and you probably felt this, Lillian, after you worked out. I mean, your brain, you're just like on 100% full go-go juice. You can think, you're not foggy. We have so many people, they do a walk with their bands in the morning, and the whole day, they're just got incredible brain energy. That's brain-derived nootropic factor that comes from high-intensity exercise. Very few people get. Here's a big one, number 4. Thyroid stimulating hormone. Ladies, hypothyroid ladies, you may not have ever heard that word, thyroid. You've heard of thyroxine and T3 and the thyroid hormones here, but guess what? The thyroid doesn't act by itself. It's an interesting thing. Nobody ever told you that. There's a substance in your pituitary gland called thyroid stimulating hormone. And as you go through life and childbearing and trauma, like you've gone through, Lillian, thyroid hormones come down because thyroid stimulating hormone comes down. Then you're hypothyroid and you're tired and you can't lose weight and you got no energy and you lose all your muscle and you go to the doctor and, they start talking about things like thyroid hormones. But guess what? Same thing. When you feel the burn, when you tap the glycogen reservoir, it turns on thyroid stimulating hormone. It goes right here into the thyroid. And guess what it does? It cranks up your thyroid hormones. And all of a sudden you got energy and you're sleeping better and the scale starts moving. Why does the scale move? Okay. So let's back up. 45 minutes of cardio. What does it do? It's just sitting here using oxygen down here below oxygen threshold, never gets into the glycogen reservoir, never gets the burn, never turns on thyroid stimulating hormone or growth hormone. And you look down at your machine, you're on the cardio and you go, ooh, look, I burned 300 calories. And you wake up the next day like you do every day and you get on the scale and you're like, what is going on? Why is nothing happening? why are my clothes not fitting different? I'm burning the calories. My Fitbit says I did, because you are not tapping into these substances in your body that come from getting the burn that control everything. So 45 minutes of cardio, yes, it will burn 200 to 300 calories. But now listen to this. 5 to 10 minutes of cardio that's up here using more oxygen that's available, you feel the burn. 45 minutes, you're down here. You can be there for an hour. You can be there for 5 days. Nothing's going to change. Up here, doesn't matter if it's 45 minutes or 5 minutes. What happens? Thyroid stimulating hormone. Metabolism goes up. Ladies, guess what's going to happen for the next 24 hours after you put demands on and feel the burn? Never mind you burn 100 or 200 calories. You're going to burn an extra 500 to 700 calories at rest. So your caloric burn went from 2,000 to 2,500. And ladies, you're all right. You're hanging out in here, 2,100, 2,200. You're trying to maintain weight. You're trying to control your diet. And some days you drop down to 1,900, 1,800, you starve yourself. What if you could just bump up to 2,500? Now your normal diet of 2,000, 2,100, 2,200 calories is 300 less than you're burning. And the weight starts coming off. And the arms start getting more toned. And you start losing weight. So 45 minutes of cardio is a myth. What changes results, and here's why I'll tell you it's a myth. How many kids do we see running around the playgrounds that go for a 45-minute jog? They don't do that. They burst, they run, they jump, they sprint, they feel the burn, they stop, they run around, and they're all lean. Next question. How many dogs have you ever seen go for a 45-minute jog?
Unless they're running with somebody, not many.
What do horses do? They sprint and they stop. And dogs sprint and they burst and they create the burn. Your body's no different. So now you're going to put demands on, do these burst activities, 3-4 minutes. Your metabolism's going to go through the roof. We have a guy, Stan Checketts, lost 100 pounds in 9 months working out in his basement for 15 minutes. Amber Cavett, she's a lady that gets on this vibration plate and she's working out an hour to an hour and 15 minutes below the burn. And she's got the bands and she's putting them on and she's just lightly, she's doing the 45-minute thing. And she keeps calling me, Mike, why am I not losing weight? She's gone through life and kids and trauma and stress. She's gone through all these things. So I said, Amber, here's how it works. You're exercising down here below oxygen threshold. Simply put the bands on and go shorter amount of time and watch what happens. So she switched. It took her a paradigm shift. It took her she switched over to 15 to 18 minute workouts, lost 50 pounds in 3 months.
Wow.
Couldn't lose a pound, lost 50 pounds. Now she doesn't work out for more than 15. What's happening? She went from exercising down here, using less oxygen that's available, to exercising up here and getting the burn, and completely changed. Not only she lost 50 pounds, she's sleeping better. She's not having problems during the day, during energy. Female things are dramatically better. She's married. That's completely changed. That's what happens when you get growth hormone and thyroid stimulating hormones. So and Lillian's showing you those guns, and I've got guns now, but let me tell you what happens on the inside.
This has been 2.5 pounds though, 2 pounds. Yeah.
What happens in your body is profound compared to what's going on the outside. I mean, you're just turning back the clock and you're cranking up the engines and you're on go-go juice all the time. It's just fascinating.
It really is. It really is. I really appreciate your explaining all this. For those of you who are like something that Dr. Mike is saying resonates with you, I want to encourage you to go to whenyouneedafriend.com. While you're there, please subscribe and check out all my channels and like and follow and do all the stuff that you need to do or that you get to do. And BitChute, make sure you remember BitChute. And while you're there, just make sure that you check out my sponsors and support them the way that they're supporting the classroom, like Keep Me Safe Organics, beauty products, organics from head to toe that I use. And by the way, you get a percentage off if you go there. So if you like a good deal, like I love a good deal, just go to my Shop Now bag or my sponsors page. So these are my sponsors: Keep Me Safe Organics, First Alternative Care, the Pharmacy in Merritt Island, Geyer Wellness Group, Right Way Health and Wellness. And of course, we have Ground Therapy, Brain Tap, and Avasia that are all there that you can just check out. But most importantly, if you want to start building muscle again, if you want to start feeling better and not have to work as hard, it's a no-brainer. It really is. It's a no-brainer. I go to the gym, I get there, there's this guy that's always there before I get there, and he leaves. I leave before he leaves. And, and yes, he is building muscle, but this is the one thing, is like that mindset. Oh, I have to work out for an hour and a half in order for this to happen. Then why bother? Because I don't have an hour and a half. Well, now you can take that myth and that obstacle and throw it out the window, because now you can build muscle in less than 20 minutes of your time. And trust me, when I go to the gym, I've got my bands on my arms and my legs, because I'm doing squats while I'm bringing my arms up. So sometimes I'm done before 20 minutes. So but with the exception of all the talking, there's a lot of talking going on at the gym, but I don't feel bad about it anymore, because now I know all I need is about 20 minutes. The rest I can socialize and then I go home. But anyway, so check out my sponsors and support them the way that they are supporting the classroom. And by the way, if you just want to bypass whenyouneedafriend.com, you can go to lillian.b3sciences.com, and the link is below, and I'm also going to post it on my Facebook, on my YouTube channel. I'll also provide it there. I know that it's there right now. I don't know if anybody has a question for Dr. Mike about this. Let me go real check. But if you just know that the link is there. Robert, I think you need to put www in order for it to go as a link on Facebook. So you can just click on it and it'll take you there. And then, last but not least, you can become an enrolled student of the classroom, and you can give $1 or $1,000, whatever you would like to do to help us grow time, talent, and treasure. That's what we need right now. So today we have Dr. Mike DeBord. He is the CEO of B3 Sciences. And these are the bands that I've been using. I've been building my muscle. Last time did you see that? Did you see that muscle? Did you see that? Look at that muscle. And then my triceps, look at that. I don't know if you see it, but I haven't seen those kind of muscles in a long time.
That's the horseshoe, Lillian. They call that the horseshoe.
The horseshoe?
Yep. You got the gun.
There we go.
And you got the horseshoe.
There we go, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the other day I was wearing a blouse, and it was like, it was like this. And my husband said, "Wow, what are these?"
Deltoid. That's a
deltoids.
Deltoid.
Look at that.
Like a teardrop shape. Yeah. Look at that.
So he was saying, "Oh, your deltoids are looking good." And he's been working out with the bands too, and he loves it as well. So whether you're a man, a woman, and I heard you say a dog or an animal.
Yeah.
You're putting this around why?
Bodie Miller's got racehorses. He's been putting them on his racehorses in Japan. They put them on goats and dogs, just, for studies to see what it does. And it does the same thing. It just simply slows down oxygen and you fatigue quicker.
Wow. Well, why not? Hey, listen, what I love about these bands is I work out, but I'm working out with 2 pounds. My body thinks I'm working out with 10 pounds at the moment. And then I go, ha ha. But, I don't like to trick my brain like that, but this is a good trick. This is a good hack. And so I want to encourage all of you, you can try these bands risk-free. Go to my link, my Shop Now bag at whenyouneedafriend.com, or you can click the link below and go to lillian.b3sciences.com if you just want to go straight there. You could either get, 6 payments for...
Yeah, you can do 6 payments of about $75.
Without interest. That's huge.
Yeah.
You can also, if you don't like them, return them after 30-day workout, but you got to take them out of the bag, because that's the only people that return them are the people who don't even try them. And you also get a set of these. I love these bands, by the way, Dr. Mike. I have never seen these bands.
Comes in a cool bag just like this. Here's what
I got this one right here.
Look like. Yeah, you get a cool case like this. You get the tubing in a bag like this, and then you can even order one of those cool backpacks that Lillian's got there. But you're going to get all this. This is basically a gym in a bag. This is when you travel. It's at work. It's at the beach. It's at the airport. Your gym is right here with you at all times.
That's what I mean. I wish I could have a belt that I can attach my gym on me, because do you know how many times I've been out either riding my bike or, going for, just a random, and it's not that I'm deciding that I want to work out. Like when I'm going to work out, I have it by me. But when I am like riding my bikes to the port or whatever, I'm like, I should have put on my bands, but then I don't want to be carrying my bands around. Really? I need intervention here to teach me how to do it right.
Can I take 1 minute to show them the 3-minute guns workout that everybody can do?
Sure.
Yeah. So everybody, I'm going to show you how easy this is. Okay. So real quick, we slide the bands on. Okay. We hook up the pump. Now there's a number right back here. It tells you how high to pump it up. So I'm going to pump mine up. And by the way,
don't you have a class tomorrow for people if they want to join?
Yes.
If you're interested, I can give you the link. Just text me at 407-373-5959. It's a free webinar. Where's my other band? I must have dropped it somewhere here.
So I've got them pumped up. I've just, here's what I've done. I've slowed oxygen down. Okay. So I'll show everybody, you're going to get this tubing. I'm going to use the blue one. It's the second from the top. You get 5 different levels. Okay, I'm going to show you a 3-minute guns workout.
Okay.
And we'll just talk for a second while Lillian's getting going here.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you easy ways to do this. Okay. So we're going to do 3 minutes and we'll go about 1.5 minutes, and that'll be enough. But imagine,
I'm already sweating.
Imagine 3 minutes. 3 minutes of working out to get beautiful looking arms. Our first exercise, just step on with 2 feet, okay? And while Lillian's getting ready here, we just do bicep curls. Everybody knows how to do this. This is easy. Everybody can do it. So we're going to do sets of 30. So what we do is we do sets of 30, and then we're going to do triceps with it. So here we go. We're just going to do 30. 1, 2, 3. Now I can tell you, this is light. For me, this is about the equivalent of 5 to 10 pounds. I would have to lift 50, 40 pounders, okay? I'm about 9 or 10 in, and I'm already feeling, I'm out of oxygen. I'm already feeling the burn, okay? And I'm at 17, 18. I mean, my arms are already cooking. Are yours, Lillian?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we've done it.
I think I'd be the first time sweating in the classroom right now, and this is all I'm doing right now. Whew.
Yeah. Okay, so I got 5 more. 3, 2. I'll tell you what, as much as I work out, my arms are cooking. My arms all pumped up and burning. Next, do the same thing, but put it behind you. Okay? Okay, just bend over. Arms at 90 degrees like a pendulum here. We're just going to do this like a pendulum. Okay, and we can do that a lot of different ways. We can do it right here. So
yeah, I think I'll do that.
Right in front of her.
So I don't want to. I don't want to tip over one of my chairs.
We're just doing this exercise. So Lillian will do it right in front of you. I'll do it this way, standing on them. We're going to do 30 of these. So here we go. 90 degrees and just extend the elbows. 1, 2, just like a pendulum. That's that horseshoe in the back. Anybody can do this.
I've never had one of those horseshoes.
You can grab water bottles out of the refrigerator, cans of soup, ladies, and do this if you don't want to use the tubing.
I love the tubing, though.
11, 12, 13, 14. I tell you, back of my arms are cooking.
Okay, I'm feeling the burn.
Yeah, just like that. I'm at 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Now, 3-minute guns, we just go right back to arms. And I won't keep going, but we just do these. Now we do about 20 because we won't get 30.
And then we go back
and do 20 here. And then we go back and do 10. Then we do 10 and we're done. And in 3 minutes, your arms, ladies, men, are cooking. And you're getting nitric oxide. And you feel like Superman.
And I never sweat, but I sweat with these.
Oh, yeah. Here's the key.
What's the
We
key?
didn't lift heavy weights. We didn't micro tear muscle. We're not going to be sore. Lillian's building guns like she's lifting heavy weights. Lillian, when's the last time you were sore using the bands? You don't get sore, do you?
No, I don't. I don't. It's really, it's amazing. It's
Yeah, because you're
phenomenal.
not micro tearing muscle, everyone. You're fatiguing oxygen and glycogen deep enough to do the same thing as heavy weights, but this is actually better. No soreness, your joints don't hurt, and you get all the results like you're lifting heavy weights and going hard. And that's our 3-minute guns. We got a 4-minute booty workout.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
4 minutes.
I'm sweating on my chair, by the way, Dr. Mike.
we have these cool workouts for you. 3-minute guns, 4-minute booty, 10-minute upper body, stuff anybody can do that's just fun. And you know, it's going to change you. It's going to change you a lot. You're going to get leaner, more toned, more energy. Life's just going to take on a new meaning.
Well, you know, they say no pain, no gain. And I understand that. And I understand that that's a saying out there. My sister used to say no pain, no pain. But as you look at, you know, people's lives, no pain, no pain, you kind of start losing. Sometimes when you have the pain, it does work out. This is the exception. You know, there is a discomfort when you are, you know, like you're doing your reps or whatever, you're going to feel the burn. But I mean, I am just amazed. I am amazed.
Oh yeah.
So for those of you, look at that.
Guns all bumped. Those guns all popped out. And
yeah.
I mean, think of this. I'm 57 years old. I walk the dog every day for 6 to 8 minutes. 2 days a week, I go to the gym and I get on the elliptical and I do about 15 to 8 minutes of upper body. And I do a plank. Every day I do a plank for 1 minute, my elbows and toes. And I mean, I got guns. I'm 57. I got a 6-pack. I got legs. You know, I don't have flat butt. I don't have beer belly. And I'm working out for 15 minutes. And it's not that hard. It's just never in a million years could I accomplish this that you can accomplish if I had to go do the hard gym, hour and a half, be sore the next day, take the ibuprofen because of the pain. You just can't do it.
Well, you had me at hello. And I said that to you too when we first talked, because, you know, I want all of you to consider changing the way you work out, because with these bands, you could work out while you're watching your favorite show and make that part of, okay, I want to watch this show. I am going to do my bands. And while I'm watching the show, mindless. And you're going to feel the burn and that, and you're just going to, and it's going to be within 15 minutes. So for that 1 hour, you can work out 15 minutes. Now, I also add some ab work. You like to do the planking. That's another one to failure, you say, which means that until you're just exhausted, you can just stop, right? Is that what to failure means?
Yeah, or just till you feel a good fatigue.
Yes.
You know, failure is not, you know, you're on the ground, you're throwing up, you know, like like in high school football 2-a-days when all the kids throw up. It's just fatigue. It's not, it's anybody can do it. My 82-year-old mom gets on her exercise bike for 5 minutes. You know, anybody can do this. This is not anything that's going to be unbearable. You just feel that wonderful pump and burn. And it's you know, it's invigorating too, to get that. You know, everybody does the same thing. Whoa, look at my arms are all tight and pumped up.
I know. I can't stop because I've never really done that. I mean, it's a muscle. It's a muscle. Okay. For those of you who want to learn more, you can go to whenyouneedafriend.com, click on my shop now bag, click on the B3 bands, and, you know, get your trial. Now, I know that for those of you who are listening to outside of the United States, there's an extra fee, but that has nothing to do with us. That has nothing to do with B3 Sciences. So if you want your band, they'll send it to you, but just make sure that that you do. Now, if you want to be a part of the webinar on Wednesday, and every Wednesday there's a webinar, free webinar that you can work out. You get a coach for $447. That is all, that's one time. That's a one-time for your bands, your tubes, your coach, your free workshop workouts. And I am going to become a a coach, and I've already got my first client, Dr. Mike. They want me to train them with the B3 bands. And then last but not least, if you want to sell these, if you want to bring this and you want some income and you love working out, or maybe you're beginning to work out and your friends, you get your group getting started, this is an income opportunity for you as well. So if you're interested, you can always text me at 407-373-5959. Dr. Mike, we got 1 minute left. What would you say, somebody that just walked in right now, what would you say this is all about?
I'd say this is all about you doing something you already love to do, whether it's pickleball or walking the dog or mowing the yard or shoveling the snow or getting on your Peloton or going for a swim or doing your water aerobics or getting on your rebounder or using your vibration plate. You do not have to adopt some rigid 30-day, just put on the bands. That's all you got to do, and start moving and feel the burn, and you decide what it's going to be. And if you do that, and you turn on these systems that God gave us in our body, these hormones and peptides and the way the body was designed to work, you're going to live a different kind of life.
And I will let that be the last word for now. For those of you who are listening on podcast, it might be a little bit difficult to look at the workout while you're listening to it. So you can join us or watch the rerun on my channels. So, and for those of you who have questions, stay tuned. We're going to ask in the Teacher's Pet Corner. And please remember, we'll be right here waiting for you worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. This is Lillian McDermott and Dr. Mike DeBord wishing you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day ever. Good job. Good job.
The opinions and advice expressed on the Lillian McDermott radio show are intended for the individual callers and guests on the program and are presented to our wider audience solely for general educational purposes. Please act responsibly and consult personally with your own medical, psychological, or nutritional expert before taking any steps to improve your life.
Okay, so do you have any questions for Dr. Mike? Is this something that you have, like, it's hard to believe that something as simple. Now, there are other brands out there, and I love the fact that you showed how these bands have a puffiness so that it doesn't cut off your circulation.
That's right.
That's very important. So there's a lot of cheaper brands out there that don't last long, and they can potentially cut off your circulation. Can you share a little bit about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm going to give the credit to Dr. Jim Stray Gunderson. He really pioneered this with the Olympic team, and then I launched the company to take it out, to the entire world here. And now, there was one or two bands that, when we started, they kind of started mimicking us. Now there's 30 or 40. I mean, you can buy these crazy belts and rubber bands for $39 if you want to put a tourniquet on your arm. That is not safe. So again, these are the only bands that have safety studies that do not cut off blood flow. They're the only bands that are waterproof. They're the only bands with a 12-month warranty and a 30-day money guarantee. We're the only company that gives you a coach. There's a reason movie stars like Mark Wahlberg and Dr. Mercola and Dr. Oz is now using it, NFL teams, the Olympians. Look, there's a reason all those people are using the B3B Strong bands, because these are the most tested, best bands out there. And you want to be safe using them. And you don't want to put these other crazy things on. You can buy these, things you got to crank down. And I'll tell you what, that's not comfortable and it's not safe.
Yeah, and you have to put them on so they don't slip off. You have to put them on a certain way, and all of that information is given to you, so you don't feel like you're going blind on this one. And I will tell you that Dr. Mercola, the first time I saw these bands was as a result of Dr. Mercola. The first time I saw Dr. Mercola, he had a pretty severe healing crisis with his diet. I think he was promoting keto diet, and I think he overdid it. And then I saw him a year later, and he looked phenomenal. But when I found out what he was doing, his bands were over $2,000. And so when I spoke to Dr. Mike, and it has to be something I would want to use, it has to be affordable, it has to be healthy or organic or natural. Those are the parameters by which I decide whether or not someone's going to be working with me or not. I can be very selective and very exclusive because after 10 years of owning my own company and 11 years of owning my own company and 10 years of being in the classroom, I have to be responsible for what you are listening to in the classroom. And so when I spoke to Dr. Mike, the price was affordable. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain by trying it. So I want to encourage all of you. I've worked with Dr. Mike we first talked in December.
Yes.
But I wasn't able to because of all the craziness and that's been going on. And even though I haven't been using these bands like I want to use them, I am getting huge results for me. So I'm not saying that that's going to happen to you, but I'm saying that's what's happened to me. So I'm excited to try something different and new and learn these new truths, because I thought going to the gym was going to be time consuming, but now I'll work out anywhere. I'll go out to my balcony overlooking and seeing the nature, and I'm working out in my balcony. And now I'm using the rails to allow me to use the bands. So there's so many different ways that we can find a win-win, and working out, this is so important. And as a chiropractor who worked with athletes, nutrition is important as well as exercise. So, how have the bands encouraged people? How have the bands encouraged people to continue with this new mentality that you don't have to work out for an hour and a half? You can be smarter instead of working harder.
Well, it's interesting because I tell people that there is nothing that compares to growth hormone. Dieting, not smoking, not drinking. Look, you shouldn't do those things. But there's nothing, and Harvard would agree, Yale would agree, there's nothing in science, nothing in medicine, no discovery that holds a candle to human growth hormone, which gets released in your body. That's why people spend thousands of dollars on the synthetic kind that has dangers.
Yes.
Nothing comes close. And it's interesting when people start working out and you feel that growth hormone, you just naturally know, hey, I should probably eat a little better. I should probably take some great supplements. I should probably cut down it just naturally happens. We're intuitive to that. So anything you do, have a couple cheat days a week. Heck, have 2 cheat days a week and eat whatever you want. 4 or 5 days a week, just eat smart. If you've got some nutrition products, keep taking them. You're going to get 5 times better results. Mm-hmm. Ladies, if you're using, this is a big one we didn't talk about. Ladies, all the skincare stuff and collagens, you get growth hormone going, watch what happens.
Yeah.
Skin elasticity and dermal thickness will start increasing significantly when you get growth hormone. And then, you're going to notice all of that. So it's easy to now add smart things like all the things you recommend, Lillian, whether it's keto or intermittent fasting. Hey, great. Great.
No, I don't do keto. I follow a nutritarian lifestyle, which is whole food, plant-based, and that's what I endorse. And but these diets that people think of diets can really harm them if not done in a certain way. I mean, look at what happened to Dr. Mercola. I mean, he's an expert at this. And
that's what I say about keto. I mean, come on, how long are you going to not eat carbs? Your whole life.
Exactly. It has to be sustainable.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you follow Dr. Joel Fuhrman. He's been a regular in the classroom since 2015. Unbelievable. But we do have to, work on the mindset that because you're a certain age now, you're gonna, your body's gonna go to hell, is what I've heard so many people say. My body's gonna go to hell anyway. I might as well eat this and this and that.
If you don't get exercise that stimulates growth hormone, your body is going to age and decline fast, and you're gonna die young.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just human nature. Remember Jack LaLanne?
Yes.
LaLanne, 95 years old, looked like he was 30.
Yeah.
Why'd Jack look like that? Because now I know he's drinking the juice, but Jack, you noticed he's drinking the juice, but he's got muscle. He lifted heavy weights his entire life.
Yeah.
And he kept getting a growth hormone release his entire life. So we can do that. And, and like you said, Lillian, anything you do smart, in your diet, you're just going to compound the wonderful results.
Absolutely. So we have a question. I'm sorry, Myrna, I just saw it. It says, do you experience racing heart during or after using the bands?
You shouldn't. No.
No, I don't. That's a great question that leads to another question. Are there any contraindication?
If I can say this to her, what's her name?
Myrna.
Okay, Myrna, remember when I was talking about it? We're decreasing oxygen here, and the muscle is working. The heart is not experiencing the decreased oxygen. The band's not doing anything to the heart. So the elevated heart rate from exercise is going to be just like you're doing exercise. You go for a walk in the bands, you're going to have a nice, safe, elevated heart rate, just like you would if you went for a vigorous walk. So the bands are creating the metabolic crisis, the decreased oxygen in our arms and legs and muscles. It's not creating it here in the heart. And we're the ones with the study on that. So you should not. I mean, people say, oh, am I going to have a heart attack? No. Am I going to throw a clot? No. None of those things happen. And the final thing I say to people is, go type in dangers of BFR. Nobody's dropped. This has been going on for 30 years in Japan. Millions of people around the world, nobody is having heart attacks. Nobody's getting clots and it doesn't happen. It's exercise. And exercise is the way the body was, is designed to work. So it's safe.
Are there any contraindications? Is there somebody that maybe if they had a stroke because you talked about the man who was in a wheelchair and all he did was buy the bands, put them around his legs and get up 5 times every day, from the wheelchair. And that was his exercise until now he's walking and he's not using a wheelchair anymore.
Yeah, I mean, there's very few, but the main ones are anybody who's got swelling in their arms and legs, like lymphedema or congestive heart failure, and you got to wear stockings. You know who you are. I mean, if you got to wear stockings and you're in that kind of shape, ask yourself, can I get on the exercise bike and go vigorous for 10, 15 minutes? No, you can't. You've got to start slow. If your doctor has said, hey, we got to control you right now. We got to get you medicated.
Change your diet. Got to change your diet because that's all.
If you can exercise, if you can go for a vigorous walk, if you can sit down and stand up, if you're in a wheelchair, if you can simply do this and somebody can help you, you can put the bands on and do that. So swelling is one of the contraindications. Although it's not dangerous for pregnant women, we say, hey, ladies, if you're pregnant, don't start a vigorous exercise program when you're pregnant. Don't go in the gym, start lifting heavy weights. Don't start the bands. Okay. Wait till, after the pregnancy's over. And so there's very few contraindications. People say high blood pressure, no problem. Diabetes, no problem. Strokes, no problem. We have all these people. Simply this, if your doctor says it's okay to get some good, vigorous aerobic exercise, bike, brisk walk, do some light strength training, you can put the bands on.
I'm wondering though, Myrna, do you have a condition where your heart is racing? Because where is that coming from? Because you said excellent. Thank you for the information. So she's still listening. So I know that sometimes my heart can race when I haven't done cardio in a long time. That's different. I think it's different. But when I am working out and I'm feeling that burn, my heart is going to be pumping the blood, but not racing, right?
No, that's a safe exercise-induced elevated heart rate, which is good for the cardiovascular system. Cardiovascular systems, it's a muscle. It's like an engine. And you got all these blood vessels that are flexible. It's made to be working optimally. Look, when you don't get exercise, your blood vessels get rigid and you get hardening of what do you get, Lillian? Hardening of the arteries.
Yeah.
And what does your heart have to do? When the blood vessels are hard and not flexible, your heart's got to squeeze harder to move the blood around. If you squeeze, the heart squeezes harder, Lillian, is blood pressure going to go up or down when you squeeze?
Yeah, it's going to go up. But here's the thing. These are all nutritional issues that once you start eating a certain way, you can reverse all these conditions. When you follow when you follow a vegan or a nutritarian or a whole food plant-based lifestyle, these are all things that are as a result of years and years and years of unhealthy eating habits. So as people are working out and releasing this growth hormone, I'm thinking that why not just change your eating habit? And again, if you want to join the I Am the Solution, we talk about all of these things so that we can change the mindset. I take you from here to all the way across the gamut. And then with education, you can make, it's called freedom of choice, freedom of information, is you can make that intelligent choice, because now you know how your mind works, how your body works, how the body is created in such an excellent way that you can now learn why are you doing these behaviors, you know, how you can stop these behaviors and replace them with healthier ones. And what I love about the bands is I don't have a lot of time. And working out, especially, you know, okay, so for those of you who don't know this, I was in a car accident back in 2017, and it has caused me to slow down quite a bit. I had a radio show that was 6 days a week. I was heard from I'm talking about on radio from Southeast Georgia all the way to South Florida. And I walked away from all of that. I walked away because I couldn't keep it up. And what do I talk to you about all the time? I talk to you about making choices that are the best for you, but you need to have the right information. Because if you think that eating donuts for breakfast, you know, fried chicken for lunch, and then having a pizza for dinner is going to support you, ask Dr. Mike. He'll know that that's not going to be good.
No, that's not going to work. You're going to live to be 50 or 60, and you're going to get insulin resistance and cardiovascular disease. And I mean, you're just not going to enjoy your middle life and the twilight years. You're just not going to enjoy it at all.
Yes. And hello, Tim. So good afternoon to you too. So, you know, what I'm trying to say here is once you start exercising and exercising with the bands, it's a gentler approach, and you get your money back if you're not going to do it, but you got to get it out of the bag. Yep. You got to make that one commitment to me that you will get it out of the bag, and you will make a commitment. Pick whatever time in the day. Do you work out at a particular time, or do you work out at random times?
Well, I do my strength training at night a couple of days a week, and then sometime either first thing in the morning or mid-morning, I do my I pick a 6 to 8 minute routine. Some days I get on the vibration plate. Most days I walk the dog. Some days I'll walk backwards up the little hill we got up. I'm going to do something. I'm going to take the dog, and I tell you, it's like, it's like 5 cups of coffee, but I'm not putting any chemicals in my body. I mean, I'm just ready to go for the whole day, and I'm not tired. I'm not foggy. I sleep good. I'm lean. I mean, it's just, you're just activating the body's systems that are just sitting there waiting for you. And it's a shame. So many people go through their entire lives and don't tap into any of this. You just waste it. You just let it sit there, and you don't tap into it. And then, unfortunately, you go to the doctor, and then he's got to start writing you prescriptions to keep you alive. And it's just a shame that that's how most people in our society function.
It is. It's really sad. So I think that this, it's almost April. How, like I wrote on my blog this last week, how are your New Year's resolutions coming now? Have you met your goal to release weight? Have you met your goal to start exercising? So this is an opportunity for you guys to make those choices for yourself. And while you're at it, exercise alone is not going to do it. Nutrition alone is not going to do it. A change of mindset alone is not going to do it. It's all a spirit, mind, and body. And I really do hope that today's class, because I know Dr. Mike is coming back. I know, because we got to do another update, because this time I think I'm going to do, what do we do a class next time? How about that? I'll set up on my balcony, and we'll all work out together, or maybe we'll do a private session with everybody who buys bands from the classroom. Maybe we can do that too. So sky's the limit. Let's work out together. Let's get healthy together. Any last words, Dr. Mike, that maybe we didn't cover today that you would like to add?
Well, just thank you, Lillian, for bringing these things to people. that are out there. We get so ingrained in the traditional, healthcare world and we need all that. Nothing against that. We need surgeries and doctors and medications to keep us alive, but so many people miss the boat on all this wonderful stuff that's out there that you're bringing to them that, you can just live a high quality, healthy life. That's why we're here.
Yes.
Thank you for doing that for everybody.
Well, thank you for taking the time to learn how to create this and bringing it out. And I really do appreciate what you're doing as well. There are so many people out there that they don't know that working out has taken a totally different meaning. Just like the word responsibility has taken a totally different meaning in the classroom, so has working out. And I will tell you, I know Dr. Mike, he's got his six pack and he's got his muscles, his guns, what he calls it. And he's doing it and he's been doing it for a while. I am just getting started, and I'm just going to be totally honest with you. I wish I was working out every day. And so I am going to make a commitment to every day, I would say 5 days a week. So this is my commitment to all of you. So I'm writing it down. So 5 days a week, I am going to do 20 minutes of something with the bands.
There you go.
I have a date with my bands 5 days a week. For now, I'm going to do 5 days a week. And then I want to build it. So the next time, Dr. Mike, you get to hold me accountable. No reason because I'm busy or no excuses. And I want to see for myself, how much more, because I'm excited about this. I mean, I have to, I'm excited about this.
Got you, Lillian. You're on the hook now.
I'm on the hook. I've said it live worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. So why don't you join me with this? And as we, if some of you, whoever gets these, let's do a little private class together. Maybe Dr. Mike will be our teacher and we can work out with him. I know on Wednesdays, if you're interested in joining Dr. Mike, he gives lots of information on Wednesday nights, and then you can do a workout with them. That is absolutely free to join.
Yeah.
You don't have to have the bands. But if you want to join, you need to text me at 407-373-5959. If you can't text me because maybe you're another country, you can email me at lily@whenyouneedafriend.com. Whatever you do, figure it out how this will bless you, whether it's for your body or your spirit or financially. I mean, this could become like, if you're like, oh my gosh, I would love to incorporate this not only into my life, but I would like to make a little bit of mad money. And it's amazing how much mad money you can make. So thank you, Dr. Mike, for this. And thank you guys all for watching today. And I am looking forward to giving the update. I claimed it 5 days.
Yes, you did.
5 days. You heard me, right? All of you heard me. So you guys check up on me. I need accountability partners. So we'll see you guys. You take care.